Watching coverage on Good Morning America of the VMAs and realizing I don't know who 90% of these people are. But I do know this guy. He might be your favorite rocker, but now he's an actual hero. It's Prospector Show. Good morning. I'm Prospector.
Good morning. I'm Kate. John Bon Jovi was filming a video on a pedestrian bridge in Nashville Tuesday night when he noticed a woman in despair standing on a ledge.
Wow.
Bon Jovi went over to the woman and was able to convince her not to jump. He also helped her off of the ledge.
See? The man's a hero. And look, in case you didn't know, he actually has experience speaking with individuals who are going through crisis from hunger to homelessness thanks to his JBJ Soul Foundation. So this is not new for John.
The chief of the Metro Nashville Police Department says, quote, a shout out to John Bon Jovi and his team for helping a woman. It takes all of us to help each other stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely it does. But like when I hear the story, I'm thinking, that's amazing. Kate, do you think you could do that? Could you talk a person off a ledge?
I am the person on the ledge.
So I don't think I could do that. Like, I'd be too afraid to say the wrong thing that causes them to go, you're right, and then
You're right.
takes a leap. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be flippant about it. I'm like, I really do think that I am the kind of guy who I don't always think about what I'm saying when I'm saying it. I know I could say the wrong thing and blow that.
And you don't know until you're in the moment, and hopefully we never have to experience that. But,
Right.
you know, we all need to be a little nicer to one another.
And the idea that I wouldn't want to help somebody is not what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah.
I would absolutely want to help them, but I'd be like, let me call 911 and stand back because I know I'm going to screw this up.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
The FDA is examining the potential harm caused by heavy metals in hygiene products. They've already determined that heavy metal can cause harm when it leads to excessive head banging. Ludacris turned 47 yesterday. As he does every year, he celebrated with his brothers Ridiculous and Preposterous. Justin Timberlake cut a deal in his drunk driving case. Hopefully it includes a promise to never reform NSYNC.
It's 60 Minutes meets Gone in 60 Seconds. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
It's time for a little fun on the phones here at Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector. Adriana, who listens to the show occasionally, said, hey, Prospector, my husband owns a detailing business, and I would love for you to prank call him. So I've worked up a little thing that I don't think he's going to want to do. A job he won't take, I'm sure of it. We're calling Adriana's husband, Juan, to see if he'll clean my car. It's another Prospector prank call on Rock 107.
A1 Detailers.
Yeah, hi, who am I speaking to?
My name is Juan.
Great. Real quick, I got a question. How late do you guys work?
Usually we're up maybe, man, we can go as late as you want.
All right, great. What I would like is an overnight job if you guys can work tonight. I give you cash and I'll pay you triple what your normal charge is.
Okay. What kind of work are you looking for?
Well, actually, it's a rental car that I need to return tomorrow. It's a rental car and I got to get it back, so I need it done tonight. It's urgent.
So you're looking for a full detail?
No, I just need the interior done. The outside, you don't need to worry about that. In fact, I'm going to have to ask you to do the work inside my garage, and I need to get it done after dark tonight. So if that...
Okay. What kind of work do you need done on the inside?
Well, actually, I just need the interior done. In fact, I have a very specific request. Are you guys able to get blue dye out?
Blue dye?
Yeah, like dye. Like if dye got all over something, like a liquid dye got over...
Yeah, we would be able to take that out.
Okay. How long do you think it would take?
Yeah, what area does it cover on the car? Because you're saying it's all inside the interior.
Yeah, it's all over the roof, the windshield. It went everywhere. I mean, it's just about everything has some blue dye on it.
And you need us to work overnight on the car?
Yeah, I need you to come into my garage, work tonight, and I need it done by tomorrow morning.
I mean,
I'll pay you cash, too. How about that?
Okay, we can get it done.
Yes?
It's gonna take hours.
Okay, well, the sooner you can get here, the better. Look, I'd appreciate it if you don't share the fact that you're doing this with anyone, okay?
If you don't mind me asking, where's the dye coming from, or how did it happen in the car?
Well, no, look, honestly, that's better left unsaid. You'll be glad if I don't tell you, so don't worry about that. I do have a question, though. Are you able to get the blue dye off of, like, any surface?
Yeah, we should be able to get almost any surface off with blue dye, yeah.
Great, because some of my cash actually got the blue dye on it as well. So I would need you to clean the cash before I give it to you.
Hold on. You got a dye on your cash too?
Well, when it got all over the car, it got on some of the cash too. So my point is, look, I'll pay you double, triple, I'll pay you quadruple what anyone's going to pay you. And we'll give you, in fact, while you're the cash you're cleaning, I'll just hand that money over right to you.
Yeah, we can't really clean cash.
Really?
Yeah, cash is
Well, how soon can you be at the place?
If we weren't busy, we would be able to be there ASAP within 15, 20 minutes. But the sound of this job.
This sounds what?
The sound of the job is a little iffy. You got blue dye all over the car.
Iffy meaning
you
what?
Got blue dye on the cash. It makes it seem a little iffy.
Hey, look, I'm willing to pay you quadruple. Are you not willing to do it?
This cash out. I understand. I understand you're willing to pay me as much money as needed. But this is a concern.
Well, if you have a concern, just state it.
You have some dye that you got in your car that was
what's the concern?
Your car, but it's a rental car.
Right. Okay, I don't understand the concern. Just say it.
I'm concerned that this money was stolen. I'm concerned that the car was in a situation it shouldn't have been.
What situation is that?
I'm concerned, honestly, that you robbed the bank. What's so funny?
Juan.
Yes.
I don't want you to be concerned, okay? Don't be concerned. I'm going to tell you what happened, all right?
Okay.
We actually got your number from your wife, Adriana. This is a prospector prank call. You're on Rock 107 right now.
Are you kidding me?
No, man, you're on Rock 107.
Oh, my God, dude. I thought you were seriously a bank robber. Like, you don't just get dye in the car. Oh, my God, man. My heart is beating on my chest right now. Oh.
We all have our little phrases, our sayings that we like. Good morning. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Kate, what's like one of those for you?
I say the word slay all the time.
Yeah, you definitely say that a lot.
All
Valid, you'll say a lot. That
valid.
Well.
Heard.
Yeah, heard. So for me, it's ungood. You've heard me say ungood.
You do say that a lot.
Now, obviously, I know ungood isn't an actual word. I'm not a moron. I get it. It's quite intentional. It's like kind of a way to poke fun.
Yeah. So, like, the people who use the words like irregardless, which I cannot stand.
Right.
Or people who say runner-ups.
Ooh, that'll go right through me. Look, if you're going to pluralize a compound word, you're pluralizing runners-up. It's like attorneys general. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I could be as picky as the next guy. So many people use like the reflexive myself completely wrong, but sure, I'm a yam bag because I'm using a made-up word like ungood. Oh, and in case you haven't noticed, I've also been slipping in the word stupidity, also not a real word, for almost 15 years. But people are getting bent out of shape over ungood like it's some kind of verbal war crime.
I remember the first time you did say stupidity, and I was like,
What?
What?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, half the population doesn't know the difference between your and your, but you're picking on the one word like it showed up to Thanksgiving dinner uninvited.
Yeah, check out this wonderful woman who reached out via open mic on the Rock 107 app a couple of weeks ago.
What sucks is Prospector using the word ungood.
She doesn't like it. Like she's got a direct line to Merriam-Webster or something. Like, oh, Noah Webster's going to rise from the grave and just slap me with an old school dictionary. At least ungood is a fun word.
It is fun.
Yeah. It's a little nod, a little irony. It's meant to mock foolish folks who engage in stupidity. And people who say things like reiterate. The word iterate actually kind of implies repetition. It literally means perform or utter repeatedly. So to say reiterate is to like say re-repeat. It just doesn't make sense. It's like when someone from an insurance company says, what's your VIN number on your car? I want to crawl through the phone and kill him. What do you think the N in VIN stands for?
Sometimes you just want to mess with the system, throw a little chaos into the mix.
Right.
Who's it hurting?
Nobody. Look, if people could wear Crocs and call it fashion, I can say ungood. All right? It's just a word. Ungood or not. Let it live.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Clowns might seem creepy to some, but a study found they can actually help kids leave the hospital faster. Of course, they need to be medical clowns, which go through all sorts of training. A study found that kids hospitalized with pneumonia were able to go home in an average of 43 and a half hours if they spent just 30 minutes with the clown. The average for kids who didn't get the clown treatment was 70 hours.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
You've probably heard the threat, snitches get stitches. But this could be a new one. Snitches get snatched. Police in Baltimore have arrested a 67-year-old man, Thomas Cairns, for stealing speed cameras. They've charged him with taking 4 of them from 3 locations, but they suspect he's responsible for stealing dozens throughout the city. Speed cameras are like red light cameras and can issue tickets to drivers who drive recklessly. They've been controversial because they've issued citations to drivers who weren't actually speeding. In fact, Baltimore's on their 3rd attempt at making the program work. Baltimore has about 160 of these cameras, and officials say they could have been broken into in broad daylight because people just assumed the thief was a maintenance worker. In fact, they even have footage of the thief wearing a hard hat, getting out of a van and using a grinder to cut the locks and remove the cameras. Police haven't recovered the cameras yet, and they're not sure what his motive was. A van registered to Thomas did get hit with 1 citation from one of these cameras, but that was on August 22nd. And police believe the theft began on July 18th. Also, the camera that snapped Thomas's van was not one of the cameras that was stolen.
Nominee number 2.
I guess it's really nacho cheese. A 47-year-old gas station convenience store clerk in Las Vegas named Myron Bully was arrested for allegedly beating a man with a baseball bat for taking too much nacho cheese. The person who called 911 told police he saw the victim on the ground while pumping gas and asked Bully to call 911, but he responded, "I'm not going to call 911. He'd better have learned a lesson." Bully told police the victim took too much cheese from the nacho cheese machine, so he asked him to leave. The victim returned a few minutes later. He insisted on getting his nachos, and that's when Bully pushed him out and hit him with the baseball bat. Unfortunately, the victim is in rough shape with 2 brain bleeds, and his injuries are considered life-threatening. Bully was charged with suspicion of attempted murder and battery with a deadly weapon.
And the winner is...
the clerk who beat a man with a baseball bat for taking too much nacho cheese. You are the Yam Bag of the Day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.